Hello, welcome to October 2025, y'all. My name is Lynette. As you may know, if you are listening to these articles, I hope they are empowering you, inspiring you, educating you, and I hope that you suck it all up and put it up here and put it in here as well, because that's the intention of these messages each month, to just penetrate your mind, saturate your heart with wisdom, kindness, love, and empowerment. That's what these are about. These articles, you can find them in the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free at loveexquisitellc.com. Also on the Love Exquisite LLC YouTube channel. Y'all know these are unedited. So bear with me as I get through them. So I am reading in the October 2025 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine, and I'm reading in the section called For the Love of Relationships. This is another good one. Sit down, get your popcorn, whatever it is that keeps your focus, your attention span for a few moments. This one's deep, and you have to really listen, especially if you're in a relationship or if you aspire to be. One of the most important things you can do in any relationship is consider your mate. So the article is titled Consider Me. And here we go. Considering your mate is important in any relationship. Considering your mate's needs in your relationship is extremely important, especially if your mate asks you to consider them. So if I ask you to consider me, baby. Consider me. And I'm going to explain what that means. Okay. So if you are not considered in your relationship, that's not a good feeling, because that means you're being selfish and you're not considering the other person. So you don't want to do that. When you're not considering someone else as being single, you do that when you're by yourself. You ain't had nobody else to hold you accountable for anything. That's when you are single, is when you don't consider your mate. But if you're courting, you're dating, you're working towards a relationship, or you're in a relationship, you have to consider what makes the relationship work, what makes the person want to be with you, what makes the person want to stay with you. More importantly, what do you contribute to the relationship for the sustainability of the relationship? Can't just be sex, can't just be money, can't just be good looks. It has to also be time. It has to also be attention. It has to also be thoughtfulness. It has to also be chivalry. It has to also be different things showing up. You know what I mean? So you have to figure out what makes the relationship work, what makes your mate happy. If you don't know those things, then you're not considering them. So you have to consider your mate. Don't ignore the impact that not being considered has on you. So you deserve a relationship where your peace of mind isn't consistently under siege. You know what I mean? It's like you always, every week, you stressed out because you like the person don't call you, the person don't text back, the person don't, you know what I mean? It's like you deserve better than that. You deserve at least a phone call, if nothing else. You deserve a response to your text message, if nothing else. You deserve time. You know what I mean? So if you can't call me, I can't see you, can't talk to you, can't hear from you, what we doing? Nothing? Okay. Let's do nothing together. You understand what I'm saying? So listen, I'm having my little personal moments, but y'all know how that goes. The little heat wave is going on. In my body. It's all right. These are unedited, so y'all see it real in real time. But nevertheless, stay focused on what I'm saying, not what I'm doing. So know that you are not your mate's sole priority. That's important too, because a lot of times people say, well, you don't spend enough time with me. You don't call me enough. I want you to call me every hour on the hour. That was one of my exes. I'm like, huh? I can't do that every hour on hour. What? I have a life. You know what I mean? Had a life, got a life, but I will honor some of your wishes. I might not honor them, all of them, because I'm not calling you every hour on hour. That's unrealistic. You gotta have realistic expectations when you are you want somebody to consider you. You know what I mean? So I'll call you maybe every couple of hours. You know what I mean? But every hour on an hour, I have a life and so do you. Let's live it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that I ain't consider him. I just want y'all to know they're like, he preaching, consider him, and he told us she ain't do it. That's unrealistic. I have to work. I can't call you and every hour on an hour and I'm working. You know what I mean? But I will call you on my lunch break. You know what I mean? I will. That's my sacrifice. I will call you when I get off work. You know, I'll call you on my way to work. You know what I mean? If that's what tickles your fancy and that's what you need, you know, I consider you. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is consider me. Consider me too. Let's consider each other. That's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So anyway, enough about me. Back to the article. So, you deserve to feel secure. You deserve to feel considered. And you deserve to feel respected. You deserve to be respected. So, nevertheless, know that again, you are not your mate's sole priority. So, they may have competing priorities, but also that doesn't give them a pass to never consider you. Because you have all these juggling priorities, you have to fit your mate in if you want your mate to still remain in your life. You have to consider your mate. You have to find a balance somewhere where you make them feel just as important to you as everything else, as all of your other priorities. So again, keep that in mind. Most people will not put you before themselves. However, you are not being irrational to ask your mate to consider you in his or her life plans. Like if you expect me to be in your life long term, then I expect you to consider me. I expect you to fit me in there. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then you give your mate that assumption that you don't want me in your life. If you're not fitting me in your life, then that is because you don't want me in your life. It's not because you don't have the time. It's not because you don't have the money or you think it's going to cost you something. It is not that. It's because you're prioritizing and that person is not one of your priorities. But if you want them to be in your life, you have to make them a priority. Not the priority, but at least one of them. That's what I mean. You got to find a balance. So when you're not considering your relationship, when you're not being considerate in your relationship, I should say, it could lead to resentment after a while. And it also detracts from how you feel about your mate. It can reduce being in love to falling out of love. And it could reduce love to resentment. So if you ever been in a relationship where you were not considered, over time you start to resent your mate. Like, I can't stand her. He do everything else. Every time somebody jump and ask him to do something, but I can't even get him to do this. You know what I mean? Every time this person call him, he picking up the phone, but yet still when he with me, he act like he don't, when he not with me, he act like he don't hear the phone ringing, or you know what I mean? So you begin to be resentful, and it goes both ways. So I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about women too. You used to do certain things and now you got complacent or you got comfortable and you not doing the different things you used to do. It leads to resentment over a while. You used to wear this. I remember you used to wear this. Now you coming in with the bedroom with your bonnet and your slippers on, the holes all in. Then it leads to resentment and it causes you to fall out of love. It causes you to look at your mate differently. And y'all might say, no, it ain't, especially if you're the one who's not considering your mate. But ask them, do you still love me? Are you still in love with me? They might be afraid to tell you the truth because they don't want the argument, but trust and believe. If they're never considered, they don't look at you the same way they used to. They looking at you like, I like them, but I don't love them. Or I love them, but I don't like them no more. You know what I mean? Or I still want to be with them, but I'm not happy. You know what I mean? But then it's like you got to ask yourself, are you still want to be with them? Because sometimes you're not always going to be happy in every relationship. There's going to be good and bad days. Sometimes they're going to make you sad. Sometimes they're going to make you happy. But in the end, the good has to outweigh the bad. And in order to do that, you got to consider your mate. You have to. It's not something that you can waver on. It's not when you're in a relationship. It's no workaround. You have to consider your mate. It's a requirement. It's a must have. And if you're not, trust and believe your mate is not happy with you. Period. Moving right along. I'm going to put a pin right there. Trust me. Trust me. Nobody wants to be overlooked or feel overlooked, undervalued, or not valued at all. Nobody wants to feel like you don't want them in your life. Nobody wants to feel that. So consider your mate. Some of us view not being considered as if you're saying, it ain't right that in there, but that y'all get what I'm saying to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that part. Some of us view not being considered as if you're saying you don't matter at all to me. You don't matter to me. If I don't consider you, you don't matter to me. I don't care enough about you to consider you or forget you. I ain't worried about you. I got my own needs that I need to be fulfilling. That's how some people take it. And this, so forget you is the curse word. To forget you is y'all know what that means. Or they might take it as I'm going to do whatever I want to do, no matter how it makes you feel, no matter how you feel about it. Or I don't really mess with you like that. You know what I mean? I don't really mess with you like that. I ain't got to consider you. I don't mess with you like that. Or that you're being dismissive of their feelings. You know what I mean? You always feel like that. Or you always want this. You always want that. Well, what they're doing is communicating their needs and what they want from you, what they need from you. So take them seriously. Take them seriously. If your mate ever tells you, consider me, consider them, it's because they feel like you don't. So consider them. Make them feel like you do. Make them feel like by your actions, not your words, that they matter to you. Because if you don't, they're going to feel like they don't matter to you. And oftentimes what that leads them to do is either cheat, where they feel valued, or leave for somebody that values them, or they feel valued, more valued too. Like if I have no purpose in your life, if I don't feel like I have a purpose to be in your life, or that you don't value having me there, or that you don't want me there, I'm going to give you that. You don't want me here? Okay. I'm going to honor your wishes. So, but if you want me there, show me that you want me by considering my wants and my needs. Consider me too. Don't overlook your own, but balance me in, work me in somewhere. That's all. Call me sometimes. Text me sometimes. Spend time with me sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to occupy your whole life. I just want to be a part of it. That's all. Your mate wants to be a part of your life. They want to feel like they're a part of you. So if you don't make them feel like that, you'll lose them eventually. They mentally check out, and then emotionally check out, and then physically check out. Considering each other's needs is truly seeing, hearing, and valuing having your partner in your life as a part of your life. When you consider your partner, it can create emotional safety, mutual respect. It builds trust and a deeper connection. When you are in a relationship, you have to care how your mate feels. So consider your words, your actions, and your choices and how they affect your partner. Considering your partner in your plans helps to demonstrate thoughtfulness. It's one of my biggest turn-ons. You're thoughtful. If I know you thought about me that day, or you thought about me in this moment by your actions, and it does something to my heart. It pulls on my heartstrings. I love a man that's thoughtful. So, especially when they're thinking of me. So, attentiveness and empathy is also what is important when you're considering your mate. It allows, well, I'm sorry. These things show that you are not just thinking about yourself. You are not just thinking about your own selfish needs. It shows that you value their time as well. You value their feelings as well. And you value their needs just as much as you want them to value yours. So here's where the flip goes. Everybody wants to be considered until they have to consider someone else. So if you're someone who has a difficult time finding time for your mate, finding time to call your mate, finding time to text your mate back, finding time to spend time with your mate, but you want your mate to do all those things for you, you really need to reevaluate some things about your own selfishness. Consider your mate. Consider your mate. It's important. You want somebody to consider you, you got to consider them as well. You definitely do. So listen, if you want somebody, you know how that saying goes, do unto others as you would have them do unto you? It's a fact, period. Put a pin right there. So you want to be valued, you want to feel valued, you want to feel loved, you want to feel wanted, you want to feel appreciated, then show that same reciprocation. Show your mate that you value them as well. That's all I'm saying. That's all this article is saying. It's important, y'all. And I know I'm going on and on, but this is how much information is out there on being considered. It's important. So sometimes, so in relationships, it is, I'm sorry. Well, no, let me go back. In relationships, it is important to consider each other's needs. So it's not just one-sided. Relationships are never one-sided. Both parties matter. So it is important to consider each other's needs in your relationship, or your relationship will eventually fail. Someone will be unhappy for sure because their needs are never being considered. So check in, compromise, ask questions, show your mate how important he or she is. Show your mate how much you want them and value having them in your life. When you don't consider your mate, you're showing him or her, whether you like it or not, you're showing him or her that they are not important to you, whether you mean it or not. That's the message that you are conveying when you don't consider them. So considering your mate is about having an us mindset, not an I and you mindset. It's an us mindset. Being considerate and thoughtful are extremely attractive and unselfish characteristics to foster emotional intimacy and safety that usually leads to happiness. So that's what happens when you consider me. When people feel that you don't value them, that you don't consider them, that you don't hear them when they are communicating their needs, they feel alone in the relationship. And this could cause them to seek what they're missing elsewhere, or, like I said, eventually leave to get their needs met somewhere else. So what does your mate need? Did you ever even think to ask them, what do you need from me in this relationship? What can I do better in this relationship? How can I contribute to your happiness instead of detracting from it? What do you need from me? Ask them and honestly listen with an open mind and an open heart. And where you can, please do yourself a favor and meet those needs as much as you can, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Sometimes all it is time that your mate really wants. So what purpose do you have in his or her life? You have to also ask yourself that. What purpose do you have in his or her life? And this is one thing, because everybody thinks they're the creme de la creme, and that your mate's lucky to have you, and you do the bare minimum because you think you got a good shot, or because your looks is this and that and the third. But so you think you can do the bare minimum and coast on those two things, or you got money you throwing at them every 5 seconds, and you think you still don't have to put that time in, or you don't have to call them, or because you just that boy or that girl. You know what I mean? You got it wrong, babe. You got it all wrong. So you got to ask yourself this, right? You ain't putting that time in. You're not considering your mate. Ask yourself, and honestly answer this too. If they lost you, right? They lost you the day of tomorrow. You decided to walk away the day of tomorrow. What would they really be losing out on if you sitting back doing nothing? What would they really be losing out on? Mr. All That, Mr. I'm that boy, I'm him, Miss I'm her, Miss All That, I'm all that in a bag of chips. If your mate lost you, you sitting back doing the bare minimum, you ain't doing nothing. If they lost you, what would they really be losing? Ask yourself. Boom, that part. Considering your mate is saying to them, I see you. I see you. So sometimes people say I give too much when I'm in relationships. I'm attentive. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you, I see you, baby. Not only do I see you, I hear you. And I'm right here. You know what I mean? Like, listen, yeah, I try to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. I'm not perfect. So I do fall short at times, but we communicate, and we stay on. As long as we communicating, we don't break that. There's no breakdown in our communication. You calling me, I'm calling you. But if you ain't calling me, I will stop calling you. If you ain't texting me, I will stop texting you. I'm her. You know what I mean? That's what I am. I believe in reciprocal energy, reciprocal love. I'm not going to waste my time with anybody. I'm not going to force myself in anybody's life. It's just that simple. If you want me there, you got to show me that you want me there. And if you show me that you want me there, I'm there. 100 all the way. Boom, locked and loaded. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But if you showing me something else, I'm going to give you that. Like I said, you showing me that you don't want me in your life because you're not calling me, because you're not texting me, you're not putting that time in, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that. I am. That's just who I am. Right, wrong, and indifferent. I'm going to give you exactly what you showing me that you want. Nothing. Period. I'm going to put a pen in there and stay focused on this article. I'm serious, though. Anybody ever date me, y'all know. She telling the truth. She telling the truth. You stop calling her, she gonna stop calling you. You stop texting her, she's gonna stop texting you. You stop putting that time in, she gonna stop making time for you. I'm gonna match your energy. That's what I'm doing. I'm too old not to. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and I'm too good of a woman to have to force you to do any of those things. So yeah, that part. So you gotta show your mate that you care about them. You know what I mean? And not just when it's convenient for you. Make time, even when it's inconvenient. Like you say, well, I got the kids this weekend. I'm not going to be able to do whatever. Okay, well, let's take the kids out together. All of us. Let's go out. You know what I mean? There's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? Well, I don't really have the money to do this week. So, maybe we can Netflix and chill it. What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So long going to the excuses when there's other opportunities, there's other ways that you can do it. Well, I'm not going to be able to call you my cell phone. I got to pay the bill, whatever. Okay, well, I got 2 of them here. You can hold mine. Compromise. Just don't drop the ball on your relationships. That's what I'm saying. Don't drop the ball on the relationships, because guess what? It's somebody right there ready to scoop that ball up and all net. All net, okay? So anyway, I'm just saying, like, I'm making light of it and joking or whatever to keep y'all entertained. But at the same time, this is some real stuff. Y'all know, nobody like to not feel considered in a relationship. You know what I mean? No matter if they're married, no matter if they're dating, no matter if they're in a mutually exclusive relationship, everybody still wants to be considered. Even if I'm just dating you. Show me that you value my presence in your life. Show me that you want me there. Even if we just dating, busting it up, even as friends who that might lead to something else, who knows? If you show me that you want me there, I'm there. But if you show me that you don't want me there, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to give you that. I'm not going to be there. It would be dumb of me to be somewhere you don't want me to be. You know what I'm saying? Dumb for me to do something you don't want me to do. I'm not wasting my time or yours. That's all. And I don't, and nobody should. You know, so it's just not, it's not just me is what I'm saying. If you are with somebody that's not never considering you, do yourself a favor and get your peace back. Get your peace back. Straight up. So, because that does, it puts stress and strain on you, especially if it's somebody that you really like and you rock out for, you there for them. They never there for you. You calling them, they never call you. You texting them, they don't text you back till they feel like it. Oh, okay. Go ahead. You showing me that you don't have the time to value this gem in your life. So go ahead and do whatever is more important to you. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And no hearts, no, I'm not saying that with any malice. Love you to death. Wish you nothing but the best. All happiness. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead over here where I'm valued. You know what I mean? That's all. Don't be mad at me like I ain't mad at you. You see what I'm saying? So that's that part. So no amount of money, no matter how physically attracted you are, is not enough to sustain a relationship where the couples do not consider each other's needs. Now, no, you cannot always be the only one that's getting your needs met. No, you cannot. If you are, you have to know that your mate is not happy. Trust me, they're not. If you're the only one who's being satisfied in your relationship, if they're not getting their needs met, they're not happy, they're not content, and they're not satisfied. So below in the magazine, I put a whole lot of different things and ways that you can show your mate that you consider them. One way is by showing up. Be present. Be present in their life. No, you can't always be present all the time because you have a life yourself, I hope. But you can show up when they need you, when it counts the most. Don't just be words. And if this person matters to you and you say, oh, I love you, show me. How do you love me? Show me. You know what I mean? Love is an action word. Ask your partner, how was their day? You ever meet somebody, you talk to them, you be like, oh, babe, how was your day? And they be like, oh, they go on this long tangent, don't ever ask you how your day was. You're not being considerate. You be considerate. So be mindful of the tone and temperament you use when you're communicating. So you with somebody that's always, it's like, whoa, hold on. Consider my feelings and my emotions and how I feel and how I'm receiving your message right now. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to rah back, and then neither one of us going to be heard, or neither one of us are going to get what we want out of the conversation. So you got to think about that. Be thoughtful, do just because things, you know what I mean? Come home with some flowers one day, or get a little card, or, you do something wrong, or you make your mate feel like, matter of fact, thank you, Holy Spirit. If you are someone who, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm going to let y'all read it. It's in the magazine on loveexquisitellc.com. So I said enough. There's a lot in there, a lot of jewels in there. So make sure y'all go out and read the magazine. So if this time I'm going to go off on something else, because this is important. If you are someone who does not consider your mate, I want you to do this. Please do this for your mate and just see the reaction. Whether you're dating them, whether you're just their friend that you're trying to build a connection with, whether you are married, doesn't matter the nature of the relationship. But if you are seeing someone who you want to get to know, or you're trying to get to know, and you have not considered their needs because you've been selfishly thinking only of yourself, what you have to do, what you don't have, what the time you don't have, the whatever you get caught up with the busy life. I want you to do me a favor. Get a card. You can buy a card from the dollar store. You got 50 cents, whatever this costs now. Buy a little card from the dollar store, that a thank you card. You can buy a pack of them actually, for $1.25. It might be tax or whatever, but it's still worth it. And you get some thank you cards and you write out to your mate, your person, the person you're dating. You write in there, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not considering you. From this day forward, I will do my best to try to consider you, to work towards considering you. So tell me what it is that you need from me, and I will do better at providing those needs as long as they're realistic, and as long as you're willing to do the same for me. Signed, whatever your name is, P.S. I appreciate having you in my life. And I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like I didn't. Please do that. And if I talk too fast, I try to slow it down. But if you need to rewind this so you know exactly what to write, you can take it off your mind and what's in your heart, and you can write your own words. But give your mate that thank you card. If you are someone who does not consider your mate, or if life has become so busy for you that you find it difficult to consider your mate, you used to in the past, but you don't anymore, or you met someone new that you're dating, you're trying to get to know more of, but you don't put that time in, you don't call them as much, you don't text them as much, write them that thank you card. Thank you for being a part of my life. And I apologize if I made you feel like I didn't want you in it by not considering you. From this day forward, I'm going to do my best to try to consider your needs, to work towards considering your needs sincerely, and you write your name. If you're not, or you are, if you are not, or if you are not willing to do the things that are required for you to consider your mate, then you truly do not deserve to have a mate in your life. You don't deserve to have someone who considers you if you don't consider them. You don't. And I'm going to be honest with you there. So you got to ask yourself, is it single life the life you really need to live? Because only single people are selfish. So I'm going to go back to the article, and I'm going to end it now. So if you are not or are not willing to do any of these things, then you truly do not consider your mate, and you don't care. You won't give a damn about how they feel. You don't. You only care about yourself, and you only thinking of yourself. So this is not the mindset that anyone in a relationship or that's trying to develop a relationship should have. When a man and a woman consistently, keyword consistently, consider each other, they are not just loving each other the right way, because considering me is a sign of love, is a sign of I like you this much that I'm willing to show you how important you are to me, how important you mean to me. Those two simple words, consider me, means so much. It means so much. It's a way of showing your mate that you care about them, that you love them, that you like them, that you value having them in your life, and you want them to stay there. So again, when you don't consider your mate, you don't consider each other, it hurts too. It does hurt. It really does, because no one wants to feel like the person they care about cares nothing about them. It hurts too. And it's very upsetting and disappointing as well. So that's why you eventually will lose them if you don't consider them. So when you consider your mate, you got it. If you consider your mate, you got it. I applaud you. You doing it right. You finally doing love the right way. You're building a partnership based on mutual respect, emotional intelligence, because it takes emotional intelligence to know how to consider someone else. Love, because when you consider me, that's love. And it's shared humanity, meaning you're treating me like the human being that I am. You're not throwing me out and casting me away, casting me to the side, or not even thinking about me. You're treating me like a human being when you show me that you consider me. So consider your mate in your decision-making process, especially if he or she asks you to, and especially if he or she means something to you. Okay? So keep in mind that considering me is the best way that you can demonstrate love. A love that usually lasts a lifetime. So all your mate really wants you to do, and all I ask you to do, is consider me too. Because I consider you.